so fast for you and it's going really well and it scared you. Has that ever happened to anybody? Right? I have that experience even to this day. Stuff is going just as I wanted, and I thought, oh, that's really too good. Anybody else ever felt that way? All right? So we're going to talk about how to build a multi-million-dollar business. The first thing I got to ask you, the reason I started this by saying, who wants to be a multi-millionaire? Everybody wants to be a multi-millionaire. Yes? Then you move to the level of who is committed to being a multi-millionaire. Because when you commit to it, you got to do something with it, right? I'm committed to working out. Commitment for you for working out may be 5 times a week. For me, it's 3 times a week. That's my commitment. I'm committed to doing it. But when something is a necessity, that means you cannot function, you will not live, it will not work for you unless you get it. Yes? Food, air, right? Cheetos for some of y'all, right? You gotta have it. If crunchy, right? Flame flavored Cheetos. But the reality is, if wealth is not a necessity for you, you will never be wealthy. You will never be wealthy. If you just want it, you make a little money. But unless it's a necessity for you, you will never be wealthy. There was a time when I was in college, I was working for Procter & Gamble, the only job I've ever had. I made $32,000, I was 25 years old. I thought that was a lot of money. Anybody ever think $32,000 was a lot of money? That was a lot of money. Had a company car, had a 6-figure package. It was great. And as long as I was okay with making $32,000, guess how much money I made? $32,000. My point is this, whatever you're making right now, whatever your financial reality is right now, is exactly what you want to make. And when it's no longer okay for you to make just $32,000 or $60,000 or $180,000, you will make more money. It became a necessity for me to make more money. Not because I had bills to pay, but because the $32,000 level started to feel like poverty for me. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Right? It started to feel like poverty for me. And so instead of saying, why am I only making $32,000? I started saying, how can I create some genius in my life that I can actually make more money? And the first thing I had to realize was that as great as Procter & Gamble was, I was never going to get rich working for Procter & Gamble. As great as I was at selling toothpaste, Scope, Tide, Pampers, I was never going to become a millionaire working for Procter & Gamble. I was never going to become a millionaire making Procter & Gamble a multi-billion-dollar company. So the first thing you have to realize is that whatever you're doing, if you're working for somebody else, that trek up the multi-million-dollar mountain, good luck getting there. It's going to take a while for you to get there. So we're going to talk about building your multi-million-dollar business, all right? You guys go with that? Yeah. All right. Oh, come on, give me a collective. All right? In the beginning, that's me. I think I was about 4 years old. Am I about 4 years old? My sister's in the room. Dr. Nixon, am I about 4 years old? 3? Okay. I'm about 3 years old, and here's what I learned, that every success story has a beginning, middle, and an end. Every success story has a beginning, middle, and an end. That's my beginning. I was born in Dallas Projects. I didn't live there, so I don't have a real, big memory of what it was like to be there, but I heard it was fun. I heard it was great. Right? Close knits. Everybody's around, all that great stuff. We moved to a place called Oak Cliff when I was 3 years old. And we were one of, I think, maybe 2 or 3 black families in the neighborhood at that time. And within 6 months, I think we were like, everybody was black. In about 6 months, everybody was black, right? And we came, out they went. How many of you know what that is? What is that? Just throw some things out there. What is that? Wow. I did this recently, or those guys in the room, I spoke at a conference in Charlotte last Sunday, and I said, what is that? And I got all kinds of different things. It's red, it's a minus sign. Never have I put that up there, and like everybody said dash. But that's exactly what it is. Right now, we are in our dash. When we were born, that was our act 1. That was the beginning of our lives. When we die, that's our finale. Would you agree with that? Right now, you are in your dash. And some of you are living in your dash miserably. Some of you are living in your dash grossly underachieving financially. Some of you are in your dash in bad relationships, and that doesn't necessarily mean personal relationships, business relationships, okay? So most of us are born to think about life in this paradigm. We are born, we go to school, we get a degree, we get a job, we hope for retirement, right? We get Social Security, and we die. Is that pretty much the paradigm? We're born, we go to school, we get a degree, we get a good job, whatever that means. We hope for retirement. Like my dad, you love the $552 they send you every month at the beginning of the month, and then you die. All right? This is the way multimillionaires approach their lives. We're born. We get an education. That may not necessarily mean that you go to college. You get educated. You develop mastery in your area, whatever that is, speaking, carpentry, whatever that is. You start a company. Wealthy people own companies. Now let's say we're born that way and somebody in their lineage started a company, yes? Right? You build wealth. You enjoy a wealthy lifestyle, and instead of dying, you leave a legacy. Yeah. Instead of dying, you leave a legacy. And that's what the Black Millionaire Summit is about. It's not about just us getting together and sharing our secrets. It's about teaching you and teaching us, because we're all learning at the same time, how to create a deeper, more sustainable financial legacy. Sure, we got to the game late, but I don't think anybody in here would deny that this country is wealthy because it was built on the backs of the people who look like me and you. So we should not be the overspending consumer market that we are touted to be. Okay? So let me ask you this. Which movie